Alright. Theron, Roland, and Tordik were all caught by the Drow while Theron's village was being raided. They were shackled, marched south, and eventually entered the Khan region, where the Drow acquired a few more prisoners, namely Jeff, Nyx, Nerozi, Calvinus, and Neil. Again, they marched until they reached a wood, where finally Thorin joined them as a prisoner. Then the group, along with some other prisoners, were marched underground. Eventually, they reached a Drow prison called Velkneld. However, by the time they got there, all of the other prisoners that had been traveling with them had died from this hardship or attacks on the route, and only they remained. Theron, Roland, Tordik, Jeff, Nyx, Nerozi, Calvinus, Enil, and Thorin all began to suffer some level of mental strain, and a few of them cracked. After enduring a short speech from their Drow captors, they met their fellow prisoners, of which there were only a few. Jimjar, a deep gnome with a gambling habit. Darendil, once a high elf, transformed into a quaggoth, or so he claims. Buppido, an insufferable psychotic Darrow. And Stool, a shy Myconid sprout. They also met their captors. Ilvara, the high priestess in charge, Asha, her handmaiden, and the top guards, Shor and Jorlin. They also, almost immediately, attacked their captors, and were all nearly killed, save solely because they're more valuable as slaves than corpses. Their brashness did cause one death, and Tordik did not survive the fight. Roland couldn't take this, and his mind cracked even further, causing him to believe that Tordik was still alive. The following day, Ilvara came to the cell, told the new prisoners they were going to dispose of Tordik's body. The prisoners followed her to another spot in the camp, where she began filleting Tordik's muscles off of his bone and feeding it to the hungry spiders waiting on the webs below. She told the prisoners that they would finish the task, and Roland, in his madness, grabbed Tordik's body at his first chance and leapt from the cliff. They were presumed dead, but Ilvara was furious and threw Nyx to the spiders where she was eaten. The next few days were filled with humiliating and dangerous jobs while the group planned their escape at night. Roland survived the fall and was also trying to figure out a way to get into a position where he could help the rest escape as well. Eventually, they were able to play on Jorlin's jealousy, and Roland managed to find a way to infiltrate the guard and be on duty at their cell the night they were going to escape. The escape did not go smoothly, but they did succeed. Enil, driven by his madness, was killed in the attempt, but the rest survived and they managed to get all their gear. They snagged the pacifist Kuatoa Shushtar from the Quaggoth Den, who could get them to a nearby Kuatoa town, but before they could flee, they were confronted by Ilvara. Luckily, a swarm of demons Deus Ex Machina'd their asses, and they fled while the Drow were busy with the demons by climbing down a rope they'd hung off the cliff face. They reached the pool at the bottom and were confronted by an ooze in the water, but they managed to avoid it. And just because the world is cruel, they had one more roadblock before they could truly make their escape. A demon, injured from the fighting above, landed in front of the survivors, but it was not dead. They persevered and fled into the darkness. No more deaths, and now they were free. However, it sort of turned into a out of the frying pan and into the fire sort of deal. They didn't travel very far before encountering an eerie bone pit in which a Minotaur skeleton and Brick were laying in wait for prey. Once again, the group survived the encounter. They also found a bag of holding for their troubles. It wasn't all bad, however. They did meet some adult Myconids who were helpful in giving the group some guidance. They would not, however, take them to Neverlight. It was still mostly bad, though. As they continued their flight towards Sloopledoop, the escapees were again harried, this time by some Orogs. In this fight, they lost both Jimjar and Theron, unfortunately. Shortly after that, their sleep was disrupted by a sort of underground lava swell that burst up from beneath them. They fled from that, found a new camp. This is where we find them now, and we're out to Sloopadoop in hopes of finding some further guidance on how to get home, ultimately. They are still pursued by their Drow captors, and must continue to move, aware of the distinct possibility of recapture all the time. And that's what's happened so far. You are now continuing to travel through the Underdark. This is day 4 of travel. Shushtar leads you. How does travel go today?
Jeff is trying to kind of map their progress as they go.
All right, Jeff's drawing some lines on paper.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, no.
He's He's got there was a fork here, and there's one here. There's no way to any type of scale. And there's so many forks and things that by the time he's done, it looks just like a bunch of scribbles.
Thorin's looking for some of those special mushrooms. The one that makes you smell better, the torch one.
Nilhog's nose.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll a nature or a survival for Thorin as well. He didn't find much. You were in a fairly fungus-free area of the Underdark today, but he did find one Nilhog's nose.
Roland would like to search to see if he can track where the whatchamacallits came from.
The Orogs?
The Orogs, yeah. And I've got, this is favored terrain or whatever, the Underdark. So when tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area.
All right.
All right, go ahead and roll a survival check. And I think you get that at an advantage because you're in your favorite terrain, right?
Yes. Oh, what? How was that even possible, man? Come on now.
Looking like he's searching for the Orog's tracks. He's really doing a great job of selling being like a tracker, but Roland knows that he's finding nothing.
I don't know. Can't I just keep searching?
That's what you did today, man.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you.
Neurosi definitely, he's kind of sneakily whispering to Jimjar on his shoulder.
Okay, him and Jimjar are making plans.
And he's giggling. He's like, Jimjar.
Okay.
Hey, Stu, guess what?
What?
Made a song for you.
Oh, I like songs. What does it sound like?
All right. It's like this. Yeah. Stu, come in this.
That was just like a chant, though, really. It wasn't a song, per se.
Oh, no.
But it was good. You did a good job. You did good. I can sing a song. You want to hear my song?
Do it.
Oh, no.
And this one's going to be about us, too, because we're best friends. So, and Stool and Covenants are walking in the caves.
Yeah.
And there's other people, and they walk for days.
Yeah.
And when they encounter creatures that hate us,
Right.
Darren Dill eats them and poops them out his anus.
Yeah, good job, Stu. All right.
I think Roland looks over his shoulder and is just like, "Are you trying to alert everybody to our position?"
It's all telepathic. At some point during the day, Darendelle approaches Roland as well. Pardon me, but I know I was a bit out of it when Theron died, but I think him and I had a bit of a strong bond, so to speak, seeing as we were both high elves.
Oh, really? You felt that? I didn't feel that.
You wouldn't really pick up on those sort of things. It's just something between, high elves. I'm not trying to...
a lowly drow like myself.
No. I'm sure drow have separate types of connections with each other, like high elves do, but, I wouldn't understand your connection with another drow, like you probably really liked Ilvara or something, which is fine, that's drow. But I, on the other hand, am not a drow and am a high elf.
As far as I know, Theron only tolerated your presence, but I don't think he actually thought you were a high elf.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, and we're all entitled to it. Now, can I get back to fucking trying to track these Orogs, please?
The point
and he just walks away.
We'll speak later.
The whole time, he's very interested.
We'll speak later. It was just important to me, and I'm kind of sad he died. I just would like something to remember him by is all, and I just wasn't with it when we left. So just next time, maybe we can talk.
Roland did grab that raven icon off of Theron's body.
He did, yes. He backs off a bit dejected. The rest of your day goes by fairly uneventfully, with occasional outbursts.
All right, Rick. Jeez.
What?
I said, all right, Rick, from Rick and Morty.
Occasionally, Buppido stops everyone and tells you that you're going the wrong way, but nobody wants to listen to him.
Perfect.
So then, camp this evening. What are y'all doing? How are you doing it?
Normally, I'll do detect magic for sure.
Do you guys want to set up a standard camp procedure so we don't have to talk about it every time?
Yes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think
All right.
Roland would try and
Somebody scouts out a good area. Somebody else floors around a little bit. Make sure we're not going to get ambushed in the middle of the night. That kind of thing.
Andy, are you scouting out an area?
Yeah, but I get advantage because I'm in. So we'll use that 18. That's insane. 3 6s in a row. Come on now.
Pretty awful. We'll all set up camp. Everyone helping, of course, except for Buppido. Calvinus does detect magic. You detect nothing. So what is the watch schedule? Groups of 2, yes. And who are the groups and who's doing what watch?
Roland will go first watch. He's got dark vision up to 120 feet.
Jeff and Roland first.
Yeah, and Roland could cast dancing light in like almost like a perimeter so that Jeff could see a little bit.
Okay. And then who's next?
Neurosi and Calvinus. And Stool.
Okay. Neurosi, Calvinus, and Stool take second watch, and then Darendale, I guess, will join Thorin on last watch.
I have a question, Max, about Stool. If he puts his spores out, can he detect if any entity comes within 30 feet?
Ooh.
Who breathes in the spores?
I
would think any biological. Maybe not like if it's a spirit or something.
Right, yeah, if it actually breathes.
Because I would imagine he could immediately just be like, oh, I can hear this person's thoughts or whatever.
Yeah, one sec. Let me see.
But then wouldn't that mean that creature or whatever would be able to hear our thoughts to Stool as well?
I don't know. Because we can have one-on-one conversations within...
Here's the way the rapport spores work. I'm going to read this out loud. So a 10-foot radius, Stools is a 30-foot radius, of spores extend from the myconid. These spores can go around corners and affect only creatures with an intelligence of 2 or higher that aren't undead, constructs, or elementals.
I'm going to write this down.
Affected creatures can communicate telepathically with one another while they are within 30 feet of each other, and the effect lasts for an hour. So it does not say that he chooses really at all who is affected, and it says that he just chooses when to extend them. So yeah, if he's got them extended, anything that walks in will be able to communicate telepathically. Now, I would say able to communicate telepathically, but that only means if they're willing to. So the answer is no, in that just being there would make it so that he would sense them. But if they tried to communicate telepathically, yes. And they would be able to hear you communicating telepathically.
Damn.
Not a helpful.
It's really
I think I just made it worse.
It's really worse for you. Yeah. I think the good news is the spores are an instant effect. So basically, it's not like they're just out all the time floating around.
Okay.
He spreads them, and then whoever's in that area has the effect for an hour.
Okay.
And then they just sort of go away, and he has to do it again.
So Neurosi goes off and like spends a good 5 minutes trying to make like a mushroom smoothie.
Okay.
And he walks over and says, "Hey guys, I'd like to talk to the group about something." And he goes up to Jeff and he's like, "Hey Jeff, I made you a smoothie."
Jeff looks at Thorin and just says, "Hey, can you just give us the good berry magic stuff so we don't have to eat whatever that is?" Yeah, here you go.
Neurosi sets the smoothie down and he's like, "You can drink that later." And then he says, "All right, so I would like to elect someone as the battle captain of our group."
Buppido stands up and says, "I accept." He takes a small bow and he says, "Next time when we fight, first priority is to protect Buppido. Second priority, you find something delicious for Buppido to eat. And the third priority shall be a fine jig."
You know, guys, me and Jim Jar have been talking. I would like to elect Jeff as the captain of our battle tactics. Me and Calvinus have been talking as well. We are both willing to take orders in battle, but I think we should discuss some battle tactics so we kind of go into battle with a plan.
Jeff says, "Well, that means you'll actually participate in the battle."
Well, this way, it's up to you what we do, and we'll just sort of do whatever you tell us to do.
While this is good in theory, I have a feeling that enacting complex plans and things of that nature just through commanding you during a battle might be problematic. I'm not sure he can have that level of control over your actions in a moment-to-moment scenario and still stay focused on what he needs to do.
Jim Jar thought about that, and this is why we came up with some quick names for some tactical formations that I learned from my father, who was a decorated war hero. And I would like to share these formations with you very, very quickly. What do you guys think?
Jeff rolls his eyes so hard they get stuck for a minute.
First of all, is anyone opposed to Jeff being the tactical commander for the time being?
I thought I was the commander.
Everyone ignores Buppido, and Jeff says, I mean, I don't know what commander means yet, or tactician, or whatever, but if somebody has a good idea on how to fight a battle, we're going to do that.
Yes, I will tell you what commander means. It means I am the commander.
Can we just like tie him up and gag him or something?
Sure. He accepts it willingly. As you're finishing tying the gag around his mouth, Buppido says, I command you to gag me!
These are 3 things that my father taught me that he used to do in battle. This first thing is called paying the interest, this first tactic. And that is you all attack the same person at once until they're dead. Pretty straightforward. So that's paying...
That's also called focus fire in general tactical terms.
Focused fire.
Yes.
Neurosi makes a little note. Focused fire. Okay. I call it paying the interest because as though you're paying off debt, get rid of the high interest first, apparently. And then...
Bit of a obtuse metaphor, but sure.
Okay. Well, and also I don't want the enemies to be able to know what we're talking about if we shout this out or communicate it. The next one is called the Ass Blaster.
I'm sorry?
So the Ass Blaster is when there's a caster hiding behind tanks or a really strong ranged fighter hiding behind tanks. We all do full disengage and charge past the tanks right at the caster and then kill the caster before we deal with the tanks. And that's called the Ass Blaster because the caster's in the rear and we blast them. Because sometimes casters can just keep summoning undead to keep fighting, so we gotta kill them first. And then the last one is called the, I wrote TB, and I don't even know what that...
Tuberculosis?
Yeah, the tuberculosis. Tank Buster. The druids go in the front as huge beasts, Jeff goes in the middle, and then Neurosi and Roland go in the back and do ranged attacks. And then Jeff can do either melee or ranged, and he's...
That looks like a fairly standard formation where you have your melee attackers and highly armored folks in front, and those who do ranged in back.
I think the idea with this one was just that when a battle's beginning, we all full disengage back into the position, and then we engage in battle once we're all ready to go.
What you're calling here the Tank Buster is really what you should call your travel formation.
Travel formation?
General strategy, yes.
Yeah, so you basically, when you're traveling, this is the position you're in. So if you get ambushed or you encounter anyone, you've got your setup already there.
And
Okay.
which was the Tank Buster? What was the formation for that?
Druids in the front in wild shape, Jeff in the middle behind them, and then Neurosi and Roland behind them doing ranged.
Well, Roland doesn't have range.
Yeah,
doesn't
Roland is melee.
Roland's
Roland's
not high dex.
He is next melee.
Yeah, I'm Dex melee.
What's your plus for like crossbow or short bow or anything?
My dexterity modifier is 1.
Oh, okay.
You aren't next melee then.
Yeah, that's not dex.
You're strength-based ranger.
No, I don't have. I'm 0 in strength.
You're unoptimized ranger.
Yeah.
Then
Well,
maybe-
remember, I was gonna do like those are the scores that I rolled, and that was the best for him, basically.
What is his? What are your?
I've got +2 in wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay, so you're more focused on spellcasting as a ranger. Yeah, you got really shitty fucking.
So maybe Roland should be in the middle instead of Jeff, and then maybe Jeff and Neurosi should be in the back doing ranged. But that's up to Jeff, I think.
Be in the
Well,
middle.
Don't forget Darendel.
Heal everybody, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Darren. I just assume he's gonna die soon.
Darendel is your best tank.
He's in the front.
Darendel is
very
the most powerful person in your party.
Yeah, he'll be dead by the end of the session.
Yeah, right now Roland is kind of squishy, and the only good thing about Roland is he knows the Underdark, and he has some advantages to checks and stuff in the Underdark.
With Darendel in front, your two druids moving right behind him. Jeff and Neurosi behind the druids with Stool between them and Buppido forcing himself between them, and Roland taking up the rear.
Yeah, and Roland could be a like a floater and move to the back, to the front,
Right.
flank around and stuff like
Not
that.
really heavily armored, but he's swifter and whatnot.
I like all of this. I guess my last thing I'd say to Jeff is, my biggest thing is, once we get into battle, and especially like if we're ambushed, I personally feel we should full disengage into a safe formation and then attack, so that we're not just being bombarded by motherfuckers.
I say, why not? Let's try it for the next engagement. I mean, we can always try it, and if it works well, we'll keep doing it. And if it doesn't, then we'll go back to what we were doing.
Yeah, sure. We can try this out.
So Jeff, you're the battle commander, and Nerosi and I will default to these positions. But if you tell us Ass Blaster or Focused Fire or Paying the Interest or Tank Buster, we'll just do whatever you say. Our lives are in your hands.
Jeff thinks about that for a minute and just nods.
Creep.
Why doesn't Nerosi just be the captain?
There's no way that's going to happen.
And since he has all the information and stuff.
No.
Shushtar speaks up for the first time in a long time, and he says, "Do not be like the cat. The cat, once stepping on a burning campfire, will never step on it again. But he will also never step on a campfire that has never been lit." He returns to silence.
He's made of fish, right?
He is a fish.
So if we're starving,
He's also your guide right now.
Yeah, we'll have it once we get there.
Vicious, not